And Carmine, correct me if I'm wrong. You're allergic to flour, right?
I'm allergic to flour. Yeah.
A man that loves
Wait,
pizza.
wait a
eats
second. Wait a
pizza.
second. Wait a second.
So
Wait.
no,
Hey, Anthony, where'd you get this podcasting stuff from?
It fell off the back of a truck.
Welcome to another episode of Breaking Bread with Anthony Sciarrotta
How you doing?
and myself, Sal the Voice Valentinetti, and today joined by one of my favorite pizzaioli and all-time great guy, Carmine Gangone. Carmine, benvenuto, Carmine.
grazie. Man.
Yeah,
Oh, he even hit him with the Carmine.
yeah. Well,
That's
I
the
mean,
right way. I mean,
Yeah.
I was in Italy 2 months ago. We were doing baseball clinics there, and the guy goes, "Your name's not Carmine. It's Carmine."
Carmine.
I'm like, all right, it's Carmine.
I
Sounds
love it.
sexy.
So I just turned 29. I don't think there's a lot of 28,
No,
29-year-olds
you gotta
who
be
are
proud.
thinking like, okay, I need to buy a house. I wasn't even thinking that way. My mother and father were like, listen, if you if you need us to vouch for you to get a mortgage, if that's what we got to do, then we'll do
For
it.
the right reason, For the right reason.
God
But
is
my
not making
father's
any
like-
more land.
My father's like, what are you going to pay? $5,000 a month in rent? He goes, a mortgage, taxes, insurance is cheaper than that.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes, and you own your home. Granted, now everything that goes wrong with this place is on you.
Yeah,
but every dollar you put into that house, you're going to see back. It's not like a car or,
Well,
or
you don't
something
lose.
like that.
You don't lose.
You don't lose.
Real estate, you could always sell if something ever popped up, or you wanted something else, or whatever you want to do, move or whatever. You don't lose.
Talk about the people about the
God.
people of Williamsburg with real estate.
Oh yeah.
You talk about some of the smartest investing in the history of the country.
What's up, brother? There's people that have old money that have houses there for years, like you say, and then they bought other houses with those old houses.
Yeah.
I mean, millions. I mean, you had family in Williamsburg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother grew up in Williamsburg. They started out in Greenpoint on Kent Street.
Okay, yeah.
And then they moved over to Manhattan Avenue.
Yeah, I lived on Manhattan. I grew up on Manhattan Avenue.
And
Right by Fortunato's.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was back
You
then.
have a Brooklyn in you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, no, you do. What's up, Greg? You don't fucking say hi. You just walk in here, start knocking shit over. Come on, cuz nothing's normal without you here.
Greg is our producer.
Greg's a legend. Chef, producer,
Yeah.
But definitely
Body-
a chef.
definitely a bodyguard, too.
Yes, chef.
Put you in a fucking suit, cuz nobody will come fuck.
Carmine, did I ever tell you that? He tells the girls to tell him, yes, chef.
Oh, yeah, we want to hear shit? Yes, Daddy is yes, chef. So when you're banging him...
Oh, look at your hat. Show everyone your hat.
Oh, shit, it says it. I just
Show
realized
everyone
that.
your hat.
Fucking-
His hat says yes, chef.
Me.
Are you working in any restaurant now, Greg? Or?
No.
You could, you should have a kitchen in here.
I know.
He should be whipping up stuff. Like,
I know.
On
You
like,
want to know
on
what's
your
funny?
cast.
That's
Well, he is a chef.
I've been thinking about that.
Electric. Mike, you could get electric in here, right? Without, you don't need any vents.
Carmine, so part of this podcast is obviously everyone knows Greg is a good sport.
The best.
Greg is a good sport. So
Greg is a thermometer. Look,
lot
it
of-
must be 100
Have you
degrees
ever
right now.
snapped but on somebody? I think you do. I think you have.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
I've seen him snap at Artie. He snapped at Artie once.
Oh, you snapped at Artie?
Oh, he picked the wrong guy to snap on.
Literally, I shit you not. It was like the snap of a finger where it was like another person took over Greg's mind and his eyes went in two different directions.
They should room together. Imagine them two rooming together.
Oh, my God.
That would be a perfect
that would
TV
be
show. Perfect
Amazing.
TV
you
show.
guys would be the perfect fucking odd couple.
Yes. Artie and
You
Greg.
both know food, so you'll be fine there.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
never see, if you saw Artie and Greg sitting on like a park bench together,
You wouldn't fuck
not
with them.
speaking,
You wouldn't.
fuck with them.
No
and
way.
you look at them and you think, wow, these guys got a lot in common. And yet,
Get off as maybe not brothers. But, they both got tats, right? I mean,
right,
Artie's
they both
yeah,
tatted
they're
up.
both tatted up a lot.
No, but like if
He
you
doesn't
saw
believe in
them,
chains.
if you saw them together out of context, it would definitely look like they belong together.
Yeah, I think you guys should.
But they couldn't be more opposite personality-wise.
What if we tried to spin a story on social media that you're Artie's long lost son?
Oh my God.
You went on Ancestry.com
Yeah, yeah.
and you found out that he's your brother, and now you guys you need a place to live, and you'll be living with him. He's in Jersey, right? He's in like Nutley or something.
Yeah, tell him. No, wait. So we'll tell him that he has to adopt Greg.
Oh boy, that would
Adopt
be
a Greg.
fantastic.
I tell you, he does a lot of those videos. Like, does he Joe to everything? Like, he's good with everything? Or?
He's a good sport. He's so good of a sport. Like, he let Joe put him in a cow suit.
I saw
like
that.
a
That was
full
great.
blown,
That
like
was
milk the udders, like
Oh.
yeah, move.
I got to be honest. Some of his shit is really funny.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
Really
No, it really is.
Like, I mean, just like fucking funny. Like, you know, especially when he's eating and stuff like that, or he's taking food or whatever.
Yeah, because Artie, you walk in there, and Artie's a quiet guy.
Very quiet.
All business.
It took a while to open up to me when he came to the restaurant a few times.
He's very quiet.
Yeah, very quiet.
He's
Then
all
he sticks his fucking jabs
Oh,
here and
yeah.
there, and then he's like, all right, he's getting comfortable.
A lot of
Yeah.
people don't know Carmine, but you have your own Artie,
And Joey.
Joey Joey the priest.
The thing,
Eh.
Joey's very funny. The problem with Joe is that he gets camera shy.
Really?
He gets camera shy.
I can't explain this to you, Sal. Me and Carmine had long conversations about it. There were days when I would walk in and Carmine's like, "Oh, he's on," and then there'll be days
He's
when
on.
Carmine's like,
Yeah.
"Don't even talk
He
to him."
knows that you're like, let's say maybe filming him or whatever. Or, you know, he knows the attention's on him, and then he's off. But if not, he's one of the funniest motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I know. Seriously.
he's
But
hysterical.
he doesn't make stuff up. It just
No, he doesn't make anything up.
got good one-liners.
Everything's
like,
out of his
good,
mouth.
yeah.
Straight
without
up.
a doubt.
There's a lot of people like that in life. I feel like, especially how we grew up, you know, breaking balls and all that. You're gonna find a lot of characters, but we have the desire, almost the responsibility, to put them on camera and share this with the world.
Responsibility. I like that.
But they're not. Not everyone, especially these guys, are not into that.
Right.
They'll be on for you, but as soon as you put them on in front of people, it's like whoa.
They're freaked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, they become they're
Like
like
the camera. That's all. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. People are just.
they're the biggest hams for the three people around them. Like that, like they're like the best comedians in the world, or the biggest personalities, or like almost like a, you know, someone could be like, not to say it's completely parallel, but the way like Pee Wee Herman was a very eccentric, you know, this kind of
No, that's
strange
kinda parallel.
character of a guy.
Yeah.
That someone
He
like
was a
that could
character.
exist, but only for the people closest to them.
Right.
I feel like that's a very common occurrence.
And you get a lot of those characters because for those of you that don't know, Carmine owns Carmine's Pizzeria in Williamsburg, and that, you know, that's like the center of the world for characters.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, right. Like,
you could just tell as soon as they walk in. You know, it's just you could just tell he's a freaking character.
how do you cater to that? Like, obviously you're an old school guy. You're in an old school neighborhood that's kind of changing over time. How do you cater to that, like, as like the years go on?
Yeah, you go with the flow, man.
Pizza's pizza,
Yeah,
right?
pizza's pizza. I mean, you go with the flow. You know, it's not. You know, it's nothing. What's the change really? Just go with the flow.
I like it.
Place is so much more than pizza, though.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
generally,
100%.
Get the whole sports bar area,
It's
the
yeah.
restaurant side. The
One of the
catering
best
hall.
places to watch a football
It's
game.
funny because
Yeah.
till this day I never say like, "Hey, meet me at the restaurant." I say, "Meet me at the pizzeria." Like, "Oh, I'm going to the pizzeria." For years and years, because when we started, my father started a small pizzeria. It used to be called Ray's. In 1979, he started a small pizza place, and it was called Ray's Pizza.
At the same location,
on the corner,
on the corner.
right next to where the Dunkin' Donuts is.
Okay.
And then I took over in '92, changed the name, and then we moved to the middle of the block where you have been, and then we put the bar next door in the sports bar. And I was kind of didn't know what I wanted to do because I just had like a little restaurant. I'm like, you know what? I like sports. I'm addicted to pizza. I said, let's kind of do like a pizzeria, sports bar, restaurant type of thing.
Exactly.
We ran with it. You know, anytime you do a business, if you feel you gotta have confidence in what
Pizza's
you
a great bar.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the
Pizza,
best bar.
You know, people laugh because all pizza's good. Even
Yes.
bad pizza's good. And I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it
but
makes
like,
perfect
you
No,
know,
they say they compare. They say pizza
Well,
is
very
pizza
good, yeah.
is like sex. Even when it's not the best, it's still pretty good.
you're still getting satisfied.
Exactly. Carmine was talking about earlier. We were sitting downstairs at Tutto Calcio having a little lunch, and he was saying how like we're so spoiled in New York to have such great pizza, you know, that and such really the best of everything. But that being said, your pizza is a cut above, tremendously so.
Yeah.
It is arguably one of the best. If you're just getting a regular New York slice, so people ask me all the time. I'm going to New York. Where do I go for pizza? I'm like, it depends on what corner you're standing on. It depends on what direction you're facing. It depends on but there's so many great places. However, your New York slice is a quintessentially good. Like it's up there with Luigi's, Lucali, that level of pizza. It really is a must go to, a must try. But then you add on all of those other elements to your place: the sports bar, the restaurant, catering hall. It's a great place to eat just any kind of food.
Family parties.
Oh yeah, it's a great
Events.
place to party, especially because it's there's so many places that we know, restaurants we got to go to where, it's a big to do and it's a big event. Your place is great without being too over the top, without still maintaining a casual, almost like being at your friend's house or being at your family's house. That's, I think, I love the most about it.
That's the thing, when you run a business, I mean, my take is you treat it like family, right? When I go in every day, I don't think of how much money I'm going to make or what this is. What I just go with what I like. I try to put the best product out. I'm addicted to pizza. That's my problem. Is I just eat pizza everywhere. But I enjoy what I do. It's pure out of passion and love. And listen, the money comes, right? When you do something that you enjoy, you'll make the money. The money will come. But it's more like when I do my parties in the back, I treat it like a family party, the way we are. We just like to eat. We keep bringing food out, drinks, and all that.
And
stuff.
you look happy, like while you're doing it. Like,
I
I've
enjoy
seen
it.
you do it. Like
Yeah,
you genuinely enjoy to entertain and to host, and
I enjoy
like,
it.
and you're really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, I could be sleeping at night. I'm thinking, all right, what kind of new pizza am I going to make tomorrow? And it just boom, it pops up. It's like, all right, this is good. Let's try this. And when you have a career, something you love doing, you have to spread it. You have to enjoy it. You have to do it with love.
Well, it shows too. It'll come through, like you said. If you focus on the love of the craft before the money, if that's what you put first, then it'll show.
You have to enjoy what you do. I mean, as far as what you were singing, right? I mean, you enjoy it.
I love it.
You bring that beautiful music that was once everybody used to grew up on, and you brought it back. You took it to just another level. It's great.
Thanks.
And even Anthony, with all his videos, I mean, I think we have 3 old souls right here.
100%.
In different ways. I think we're all old souls.
That's why we get along.
Yeah, no, without that. I mean, we're traditional, but we're also open-minded, right? To new.
Yeah, 100%.
Without a doubt.
Hybrids.
Without a doubt.
Hybrids. And
a lot of guys who won't put stuff on their pizza. I
Yeah.
just mentioned one of them
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Is our friend
Yeah.
Theo.
Yeah, I know.
He's
He
very
doesn't like. Well, he
conservative.
doesn't like the burrata, right?
I go, but see now I go back and forth where I'm not opposed because personally speaking, one of the great things I think that you make is an eggplant slice. You make a mean eggplant slice.
That's my favorite slice.
I like candy sweet. I don't know what you do to it. Like, it's nice and hearty. It feels like you're eating like 3 or 4 freaking slices, 3 or 4 freaking slices of eggplant. It's honestly delicious.
We try. I really specialize in specialty pizzas.
Yes.
And you just don't get like, oh, you throw pineapple. You make good stuff.
Yeah.
We have
Quality.
over 30
Gourmet.
different. Yeah, gourmet. Correct. We have over 30 different pizzas on display.
Easy.
And I know a lot of pizzerias, like Luigi's. We use them as an example because you go in his pizzeria, it's the ambiance. Right, you go in.
Oh, yeah.
You walk in, like when I go in there, the minute I step foot in there, I've been there a few times. It just goes back to my days when I was a kid. So you feel that. On top of that, he's got very good pizza. So that's his thing. He's not the type of guy to make all those kind of pizzas. Each pizzeria is the same, but at the same, it's not. It's
Where's he going to put them? That's my question. If he came up with all these different specialty slices, where is he going to show
His
them?
showcase stretches across the whole entire front of the store.
That's what I
don't have to tell you.
And
But
Sal, that's what I tell you all the time, and especially, I don't know, it's most like a Long Island thing. Every Long Island town has 4 or 5 pizzerias. There's always one spot that has the best thing. This spot has the best regular slice. Like, there's always either good pizza
You're known for something,
or it's
right.
good dinner food. It's never
Yeah, but
both.
I feel like a lot of those neighborhood pizzerias on Long Island, they make casseroles instead of pizza.
Undercooked.
It's a little too
I hate
thick. It's a
undercooked
little
pizza.
undercooked. What's the craziest? Like, you came up with an idea. You were like, there's no way this is going to work. Or, there's a slim chance I like it, but there's a slim chance it'll work. Or maybe that's not even your thing when you put something out you're confident. Either way, what's the craziest invention, the craziest recipe for pizza that became a hit?
From my
Yeah,
end?
from you. What was the biggest shocker?
I don't know, because to be honest with you, all the ones that we make and all our specialty pizzas, I really put it up with anybody. I gotta say, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, because
No.
I go out there. I see social media. I look at all these pizzerias like Crispy Pizza, like I see their pizza, their specialty pizzas are good. There's so many out there, so I don't think there's anything crazy. Because if I gotta say crazy, maybe the Philly cheesesteak, but that's common.
Yeah.
That's
Philly-
common.
I thought that
Jalapenos
was a
is common.
taco pizza.
The taco
Don't
one.
ask me
I
why.
don't see that all the
Yeah,
time.
that was more of like an '80s, '90s type of pizza. You don't. I'm sorry, more in the '90s. You don't see much of that. But to say so, honestly, I don't see anything crazy, because I'm a good eater. And
Yeah.
I like to put like good stuff together.
No, the tricolor wood fire is the best.
Yeah, maybe that's 3 different sauces. I don't know, but that's not even crazy to be.
Right.
I
honest.
actually have an answer. Carmine at one time was experimenting with a Detroit style pizza.
Ooh.
It was unbelievably
I
delicious.
like Detroit
Yeah,
style.
so do I.
It was
So do I.
unbelievably delicious.
Yeah.
Like
That's an
unbelievable.
that's
I
an
mean, just the crispy edge, the way you did it in like the pan, like you did it perfect.
It had a
It's very
great
good.
texture to it.
Very good.
especially
I mean, for me, at my store, I got to say, like, the best slice that we have, as far as, I mean, there's so many, but, like, if I got to pick one to go to, it's got to be the one with the hot supersad,
Yeah.
the grandma supersad.
Oh, that's a good
Spicy,
one.
thin.
It is really good.
Made in the wood-fired oven. You know, you have
Again,
that.
And it's a real wood fired
perfect
oven for
cook
those
on that
inclined.
every time.
And
Yeah.
Carmine, correct me if I'm wrong. You're allergic to flour, right?
I'm allergic to flour, yeah.
A man that loves
wait
pizza.
a
eats
second. Wait a
pizza.
second. Wait a second.
So in other words, like, so if I make, yeah,
Wait a second.
if I make pizza, which, you know, I try to do whenever I have some time, is I use semolina. Because if I use white flour,
Oh, you're allergic to the bleached flour.
yeah,
You're allergic to what we put in the flour
Pretty much,
to make it what it. What
I start sneezing or get itchy, or
you're
witnessed
allergic to
it.
Pillsbury.
it gets to me, you know.
That was
So when I make pizza, I'll have to use some of the semolina. I mean, Mike could tell you, I'll start sneezing and forget it.
Well, I mean, semolina's,
I've seen it when
Semolina
when
just
film a
changed
video.
it.
semolina's elite.
Well, you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
No, I like semolina. And first of all, it's a better texture. Anyway.
I like semolina for everything that's baked. Pasta,
Yeah.
bread.
Semolina bread.
Yeah.
What's better than a semolina hero? Really?
Very few
Nothing
things in the world.
softer. Nothing rises the way semolina does. Nothing reacts to yeast the same way.
Without a doubt. Without
It's
a
just it's elite. It's the best.
doubt. Yeah, no.
It's not even the pizza. It's everything. Like we were talking before, like his restaurant food and pizzeria food is consistently good, where it's not either one or the other.
Well,
Like
his restaurant food, not just like the wings. So you have, I feel like there's 3 different tiers to Carmine's. You have the pizza, you have the restaurant food, and you have like the bar food. The wings are nuts.
Yeah. Wood fired wings.
The wings a la Carmine are really
Cherry
good.
pepper.
Wood
wings
fired wings are
are
nuts.
nuts.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The first time I had wood-fired chicken wings was Anthony's Coal
Anthony's
Fire.
Coal Fire, correct.
Back in the day, pre-McDonald's, right? And McDonald's bought Anthony's Coal Fire.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really? Didn't Dan Marino have something to do with that company?
I believe he was a partner.
Yeah.
I've known Pat Marzano and Anthony Bruno and those guys for some time now. I used to go when they first started popping up, and I loved their wood-fired wings with the onions. When I had the wood-fired wings, a la Carmine, with the peppers, with the whole shebang, that was a life-changing moment when it came to chicken wings for me.
Oh, it's good. I love it. I do.
And I've ducked into a little mom and pop joint in Atlanta for chicken wings before, and they were out of this world. But your wood-fired chicken wings are really, really leveled up. And then you have the restaurant food, which is like a warm hug. Your every dish that comes out of your kitchen is perfect. It's not, it's nothing like earth-shattering. It's nothing that's changing the polarity.
Home cooked food.
Yeah, it's
It
it
feels-
has that taste.
It has that.
I feel like I'm at my grandma's house. And
Every dish has a very personal touch to it, or at least the ingredients and the care that you have into preparing them
It's comforting.
it shows in your restaurant food.
What's the eggplant dish
Yeah.
Is that the eggplant tower?
that you make?
Or,
No, you like made one. You said it was your dad's recipe.
the stuffed eggplant.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I used
Next
to watch
level.
my dad do that. That was something.
That was some process, man. Like
Yeah,
like
it's
when I
time-consuming.
filmed it, it was some process.
I enjoyed it, and he taught me how to make it because there was a point in time that he couldn't do anything anymore. So I would roll him in the kitchen in his walker, and he would say, "Do that, do this, do that," and you learn, and also through the years watching him. But
Yeah.
the stuffed eggplant, that's something, that's definitely a family recipe.
Did your dad measure?
No,
No.
no.
That's it. So that
None of the old timers did it.
my mother says that's the most difficult thing about replicating her mother's recipes is that she didn't measure anything.
And I still, I really don't measure. When we make the pizza dough, obviously that's stuff like that, but we don't measure. I've grown up. I'm old school with that. I don't,
A little bit of this.
You just, you go with it. You feel
What was
it.
your
You feel it. You
father's-
feel it.
What was your father's menu like at Ray's?
So my father was more, rabbit, tripe.
Really?
Love rabbit. That's old school.
Probably,
Tripe is underrated.
Tripe is old school.
probably
I hate
one of the
tripe, but-
best tripe dishes around.
Tripe is good.
I used to see my father used to get the tripe on Monday, and it was ready Friday. It was like a 5-day process.
Soak it.
Soak it, boil it, all that stuff. I mean, he was so. The thing with my father was when he cooked, you have to be patient, right? And everything was a process, slow, and he had hands of gold. I mean, tripe, deer meat, stuffed peppers, the stuffed eggplant I was telling you about.
Absolutely
No,
delicious.
homemade raviolis. I mean, my father, he had hands of gold. I mean, he used to make his own sausage, his own prosciutto.
Wow.
He did it all.
Talk about
wasn't a
from
big
scratch.
winemaker because my dad had diabetes. So it wasn't a big winemaker. If he had a glass on Sunday and that's it.
Yeah.
So the wine part he didn't, but the food, it's peppers. Peppers, eggplant, kind of like what Mike does. Mike does all that stuff. Peppers, eggplant, mushroom, all by the jars, and as a kid, you're like, what is he doing? Just go buy it. But then you get older, right? And it registers in your head. And
Yeah.
it's something that you never forget. I mean, just good stuff.
He was looking for something that couldn't be found in the store-bought version of what he was
Well,
making.
he had that mentality like, why would I buy that? I can make it better.
Yeah.
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 And
I love that.
And I don't think he meant it that way. It's just, he actually didn't mean it that way. I mean, it's like, why would I buy that? We go to a wedding and, he's in a fucking suit and he pulls out hot peppers and he's cutting out hot peppers. And my mother be cursing at him at the table, like, what are you doing? You think they don't have hot peppers? He's like, no,
He's
they
cutting them up on the plate
cut
at
'em
the
up.
wedding.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Your dad would go to a wedding and he'd have a little pocket of peppers.
A lot of people do that though. Like, that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I
bring
I've,
their
like,
own
heard
pepper.
that.
You think about all this stuff, right, as years go on, or you don't have them anymore in your lives or whatever.
I keep a jar of hot, crispy oil on me at all times.
There you go. But no, without it, you see it with old timers, right? Your grandfather was in the pizza business
Yep.
as well. So my dad was actually a baker. That was his main thing. He was a very good baker.
Where's your father from?
Salerno, Italy.
Okay. A lot of bakers from where we're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing, Carmine, that I wanted to say about your dad. I did have the pleasure to get to know him a little bit, and I have to say, I've never seen the dedication that you had to your dad. When he was getting a little sicker and towards the end, you were there day in and day out. You did everything for your dad. You made sure he had the scratch offs. You cooked him the stuffed eggplant. Literally,
You had to make sure you had the scratch on.
yeah, yeah.
That was the key.
Yeah.
That was the key.
You did everything from top to bottom, and you were, any parent would wish that, would wish that they had that. So
I mean,
I
you
have
know-
to point that out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Again, my sister had a lot to do with that as well. I mean, but you take care of your parents, right? They put you on this earth, and to see them get sick and with anybody or lose them, it's a horrible feeling, right? But you also have to remember they did everything for you.
And the risks they took.
The risk they took. My dad came to this country. I mean, he didn't speak English. He didn't have money. He didn't have a job. He didn't have anywhere to live. And they figured it out. He went to work. At that time, my dad was working at a bakery called Rosalie's. It was one of the most popular bakeries on Graham Avenue. And then he opened up a pizzeria in Harlem. So he would work the pizzeria, close the pizzeria in Harlem, take the train, and go bake bread at Rosalie's Bakery until Ray's popped up. He had 2 jobs. I mean, these guys, he built the foundation, for me. Or else who knows where I would have. You don't know where you're heading, right?
Right.
But you got to, again, it's, you got to take care of your family. They put you here and you have to reciprocate.
Right. There were so many different elements in your neighborhood growing up. So many different people were doing different things. And, your father kind of setting the example for you and being a good dad and showing you this is the way. And, I'll teach you how to do this. And one day this will be yours. Was that always kind of the direction that you were headed, was one day this is going to be mine?
Well, I was big in sports, still am to this day.
Right.
I did want to do broadcasting. I wanted to get into that.
I didn't know that about you.
Yes,
That's
I was
cool.
going to go to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, actually. That's something I really wanted to do. But back then, if you became a sports broadcaster, you had to, start somewhere else, right? Go to the minor leagues, somewhere in the South. And I'm a Brooklyn guy. I didn't want to leave Brooklyn, right? Now it's different.
You wanted
Sports
John
media-
Sterling's job.
I wanted right to the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
But sports media now is different. There's so much more here. There's so many more networks.
Yeah.
There's podcasts. There's so much going on, so it's a lot easier. But I always loved the pizza business from day one. I can be anywhere and I eat pizza. My wife used to be like, all right, stop it. You have to mention every pizzeria that you try. It's just something that I always had a passion for. And my father had started it, and he was the type of guy, you just watched him. He was very quiet. He was a very quiet guy. You watched how he worked. You learned his actions were the ones speaking. And you just followed his path, And but my dad was simple. He had a small little place. He was very simple. I was the one more like, all right, let's get bigger here.
Well, that's what I was asking about his menu. You've from that pizzeria in the late 70s to Carmine's now. The difference, obviously there's no difference in passion. There's no difference in technique.
Correct.
There's no difference in the care of what goes into everything you make. But there's a huge difference in things like atmosphere and your menu. Your menu's expanded so much to include so many different things. Like I said, that you go to a diner, and a diner is the menu's 5 pages
Like
long.
a Bible. Yeah.
Right, and everything you order is okay. You go to your place, it's a big menu, but everything you order is great. So obviously there are certain things, certain elements that carry over into what you're doing at Carmine's, but so much has changed. Your father got to see Carmine's, right? And your father got to sit at Carmine's. Your father got to eat at Carmine's. Did your father ever share with you his thoughts? Was he ever kind of, I'm not saying influential, but did he ever was he ever giving you advice, Carmine, this is the direction you should go in, or maybe you should try this, or maybe even did he ever see your business and the direction that you were taking it as kind of like an outlet for his own creativity when it came to food and things like that?
Yeah, there was some times that he would, sit me down and talk to me. There was this one time that I had opened up a second location. So where the pizza place is now, and then the sports bar was right next to it, but the sports bar was empty. I already had purchased that building, but I didn't know yet what I wanted to do. So I decided to go open up a restaurant maybe about a half a mile away from where we were on Graham. And he used to say to me, don't overdo yourself. Stay where you are, fix what you have before you go to the next thing, and I'm like, no, I want to open up more locations. Trust me, he used to say, fix this, finish this, you're good here. And then later on in life, and I went against him, and the place went out of business. So, those were the things that he would see, and he would show me. He would always tell me, you own a business, you got to spend time in there. you got to be in there. You need the right workers. You used to always say, you're as good as your workers. If you don't have good workers, you're not going to go. You can't do everything yourself, and that's when me and him, we had such a good relationship because he would make all the bread for the restaurant. He was I'd be coming home at night, and he was coming to the pizzeria to make bread. He would come in there about 1 a.m.
Wow.
To
It
start
was a
to
whole
make bread?
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I would come there the next morning, and I'd see him, resting, and like he would have his head down, resting, because he was there all night.
Wow.
We had that work relationship together. Like he took care of one thing, we were a very good team with not much, we fed off each other. When you have that in anything, if you have a partnership or you have someone that you're on the same page, it's going to work.
Right.
It's going to work. I mean, what better partner to have in a business is your parents? Think about it.
That's not true of everyone.
I was just about to say that.
And it's, I think you're underestimating how truly special that relationship with your father was. And
my dad would brawl. Telling you right now. My dad would brawl.
A lot of restaurants have those problems where you get involved with family and friends, and a lot of it doesn't happen like that. And you guys had that connection.
it takes a tremendous amount of humility on Carmine's part. Like there was a point where you did think you knew better. You said, I'm going to open this restaurant down the street, and I got to do this. And you were humbled. And I think that, going into business with your dad, it does take a lot of humility. It takes, of course, your dad was a great father. You're saying he's coming into your place at 1 a.m. to start making bread for the next day.
It's crazy, yeah.
So that's a true, admirable level of dedication. But in the same token, you had such a loyalty and dedication to your father and to his advice, and it shows in so many different areas of what you do. And who you are, which, kind of brings us away from the restaurant and into your real passion, another one of your real passions. I shouldn't say your real passion because Carmine's really fucking good at making pizza. But you have a tremendous passion for baseball. I'd say sports in general, but of
Baseball
course,
is my thing.
baseball is your thing.
Your Carmine's itself is like a Yankee enclave. Like that's what people call it. You
Yes.
have you have a World Series ring, no?
I have a few of them, yeah. I have a few of them that I bought in auction in the past.
Real?
Yeah, real.
Wow.
Then I have a couple of replicas too, but I have a couple of real ones as well. I have also a World Series trophy that hangs in the restaurant on display. It's
That's
right in
in the
that
same
locker room
case?
area in the
Yeah.
case. Yeah. So I've always loved baseball. It's a great sport. It was America's pastime, right? But just playing a little bit in high school, not much, but played a little bit. But just I've enjoyed coaching. I used to coach a lot as well. But yeah, definitely a big Yankee fan for sure.
And you have a batting cage on the roof.
I do have a batting cage above the restaurant. Yeah, then
Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. I bought it for my children. Sometimes we go up there and we'll hit off the cage a little bit. A lot of customers want to come up there. I'm like, no, the insurance doesn't cover for customers to come up there. So
One of my best friends, and
I've
one of the
seen you-
reasons is
yeah.
yes, because he loves food, right? He has been telling me that he wants to come to New York and just spend a day or two just eating pizza, like going from pizzeria. Like we start at 10:30 in the morning to the first pizzeria that opens, and then just go pizzeria
just keep
to
going.
pizzeria to pizzeria.
Pizza crawl.
Speaking of pizza crawls, Carmine, you technically are doing your own crawl because you have a mobile pizza truck now.
Yeah, I just purchased a mobile pizza oven, Amari Farney, which is one of the best ovens around, and it's run on gas, but I can use it for wood or coal, but it's just much more efficient with gas, with propane. But
Easy
we'll be
cleanup,
doing
too.
Private events, block parties.
Listen, if you got to get the
Golf
hang of it, you need a couple trials. Just bring it to my house. And we'll,
Leave it there. We'll roast up.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be bringing it this week. We have the IEBF golf outing
Nice.
Monday at the Inwood Country Club, and we're going to be bringing the oven there and making some pies for all the golfers.
That's awesome.
Inwood.
Definitely.
Wow.
Now, how does that work? So you can book it like for anything? Like they had
Any
call
events,
the
block
pizzeria?
parties, golf events, birthday parties,
And they call the
weddings
pizzeria to
after.
do that?
They'll just email me, and we can, they'll let me know how many people they have. We create a menu, price, and we just have a big pizza party with it.
Honestly,
great.
That's been like the best thing. I mean,
The mobile things are huge.
a lot of my friends happen to be business owners, and a lot of the guys that Anthony worked with, all of them who've brought their product, whatever it is, be it food or Arcangelo with the cigars.
Oh, that's right, correct.
Everyone who's brought it on the road has had massive success with it. I think that people now want that experience at their party. They don't want, catering from the pizzeria down the block. They want Carmine's.
They like the whole, fun of it. That you've seen the guy make the pizza, and people are going up to it and grabbing a pie, and it's they do people do sushi, right? They have these
It's a
barbecue
show.
guys. I mean, your friend, the chef guy, right?
Yeah,
he does
Johnny Moonlight. Yeah,
he does a lot of
orders a guy that does freaking sushi on the spot.
Yeah, I seen those hibachi
Roast
to you,
sushi. It's
the
crazy.
hibachi
I
guys.
think
Sushi guy's good.
what started these mobile things, I think it was more those sausage and pepper trucks. You started to see them a lot
You started to see them at parties.
at parties, correct?
Are you going to be handling it? Like you're going to be handling?
Yeah, I
the
mean, I'll
oven?
be hands-on with it. I'll go to the events.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'll have some helpers with me.
Of course.
But, it's something that I'll need staff with because, again, I can't leave I'm not going to leave the restaurant behind on to do the mobile stuff. And I'll be at both, try to juggle. But it'll be well worth it for anyone that wants to. I could guarantee you, we've been making pizzas already a few times with it, and comes out
I think
really,
we should
really
go
good.
down to Inwood and give it a shot.
I'm in.
Come Monday, we'll be there all day. We
in.
have like a whole little
Pizza,
bar set up.
sunshine.
Come support the Italian-American Baseball Foundation. That's
That's what I want to talk about too.
100%.
So you created a charitable foundation, combining your Italian American heritage, your friends, your fellow business owners, and your favorite sport, baseball.
food. They have great
And
food
food.
at every event.
Right.
So
Every
let's
event,
throw food in there.
right? Every event has great
I mean,
food.
you guys have been to the gala already. So
Yeah.
Yes,
No, you
of
know how to
course.
throw a party. It's one thing about you, Carmine. You know how to throw a freaking party.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Well, especially because you've created so many great relationships over
I
over
like
your
it.
life.
It's fun to have parties. You have friends come over, and drinks and food and music and cigars. I mean, again, in life you need friends, right? You need to have good relationships with people. You need to give back. You need to respect your culture, where you're from, where your family's from, and that a lot has to do with the Italian American Baseball Foundation. We coexisted. We started in 2016. This is actually our 9th year. It's going to be our 9th gala. And I am one of the co-founders, as well as Joe Caragliano. He's the president. Joe,
Yeah.
we have an amazing board of Joseph DiMartino, Chris Vaccaro, Natalie Spellieri, Mark Cardillo. But me and Joe were one of the co-founders back in 2016.
And you're also the vice president. Right?
Vice president, correct. And Joe's the president. We created this organization to give back, right? Not only to give back, but just to promote the game of baseball that we love, to spread it. Because kids nowadays, right, before we get to culture, kids don't play sports anymore. They're on their phones. They're on their computer. Little League's washed. Now it's all travel ball. Nobody plays Little League anymore. So the main thing here for the IABF was to spread the game, spread our culture, to get kids in Italy to play more. We run clinics in Italy. We run clinics in Italy every year. We run clinics here in the U.S., college showcases, tournaments. One thing the IABF is very, very big on is our scholarship program. This year, we are giving out 17 scholarships and handing out over $70,000 for kids to go to school.
Wow.
To play baseball at a collegiate level. Kids here in the States that want to play at a collegiate level, boys and girls softball as well, because people sometimes forget that we're also for softball, for girls as well. And also in Italy, that we, kids that want to come to the States and come to college, get an education, which is the most important thing, but continue to play baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys saw it the other day, the Anaheim Angels had their first pitcher, first Italian-born pitcher to start last Friday in the history of baseball.
That's amazing.
No one has ever started a game as a pitcher in the history of baseball. There's only one other player in Major League Baseball that played, and his name was Alex Leedy. He played for the Seattle Mariners, but he was a third baseman, I think. So, again, Italy's not big in baseball, but it's getting there. In the north, it's big. Parma, Bologna, Nettuno, Rome, Milan, all big with baseball. But our thing is to keep promoting the game, spreading the game, our heritage, which is very important to me,
Yeah.
and to the whole board as well. Any type of event that we can create to raise money all goes to the foundation. We're nonprofit. We're C5203. We do not take a salary. We dump everything back into the foundation, to our program, to our scholarship fund, and we really enjoy what we do.
I was going to say you guys are doing this because you love it. And you guys make so many great connections through this organization.
I mean, we've had so many ball players attend our. You've been there. Mike Piazza, John Franco, Lee Mazzilli, Trey Mancini, Joe Girardi. You can name it. So many.
Which leads me to my next question. What is it like being a lifelong fan of baseball, now having all these baseball legends in your presence?
Yeah.
Several times throughout the year. You guys put on several different events that attract huge names in baseball.
You go to Mike Piazza's house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to his house. He
House
held
in Italy, sorry.
Yeah, we've been to his house in Parma, Italy, back 2 years ago. Right before the WBC Classic, he invited the whole team and the IABF board members to his house in Parma, Italy, and threw a beautiful party. Opened his home up for us. We had a great time, great food, great pizza. He had pizza as well. We had such a good time, and being around them is kind of like, okay, so it's surreal in a way, right? I mean, it's like, wow, these guys were on the biggest stage. Two of them, Mike, John, they played for New York, right?
Right.
You can't get bigger than New York. They're regular people. They're good people. And when they're at the IBF events, they want to be involved. They're proud of their heritage too. That's why they're there.
Right.
They're not taking a salary. They're there for the love of it, for the future.
That has to be a tremendously rewarding feeling.
It is. It's very rewarding. It's it's humbling. Like you feel good inside. It's like, all right, we're doing something good that's grabbing their attention, and they want to be involved. And it is. It's sometimes you don't realize it to like. The gala, right? Again, I use the gala for example. We're so busy moving around, working the event, making sure everybody's good. And then like after the gala ends and you settle and you see photos, it's like, wow, look at these major league players that, some have won World Series, some have played in the World Series, some are Hall of Famers. They came to your event. They want to be involved with your foundation. So yeah, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling, I couldn't be more proud of the organization. I couldn't be more proud of the board members on how hard they work, because the future is for the kids, right? I mean, it's we're hoping one day that we get that next Joe DiMaggio, Yogi Berra, or again, we're not only the baseball part of it, we're giving the educational part of it too.
Yeah.
You might get the next doctor, lawyer, or whoever, judge, or whatever the case may be. But it's so important. Anything you do is to give back to your culture, to your community, because it's just important. It's just really, really important to give back.
And the fact that, you and your friends have started an organization that stresses things like education as much as it does sports and all that, it's very poignant to what you've told your son. Not a lot of people who didn't go to school are saying, this is very important.
Right.
We need to help provide this for people who otherwise can't have this in their life. It's a tremendous thing. We're very proud of you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I appreciate it. Well, I'm proud of you guys. I mean, I've known you guys now for a while, and I got to say, when you came up on America's Got Talent, right? Am I right? That was the show.
Yeah.
I was like this fucking guy, and I'm gonna curse. I don't know if you're gonna butt me out here.
That's all right.
No.
This fucking guy.
this fucking guy.
He's the real deal. Like, he's an old soul. You feel that music, right?
Oh, yeah.
You were good, and you were yourself. You were yourself on the stage, and I watched it, and I was very impressed, and very proud of you on my side. Being Italian American. So, and Anthony, Anthony does his videos and his podcasts, and he's good. You should get more into acting, but you're good at it.
My God, you're the first person to ever tell me that.
No, you're good at it. You're good at it. I mean, I would see you more as a producer, but
That's my dream.
Yeah, I would see you more as a producer, but no, you do a good job. And all joke aside, I mean, this
Anthony's going to write a movie, and Greg's going to star in it.
Greg is,
It's gonna be called
Greg
Tootsie
is the
2.
bodyguard, the chef. Greg's the bodyguard, the chef,
I'm gonna call it
camera
Annie.
guy.
Annie.
And,
Yes.
and we're gonna put Greg in a red wig.
Come on,
and do a
Greg.
remix.
Maybe far away.
Don't forget about the Odd Couple
It's a
show,
hard
right?
nut
True.
life.
I mean,
for-
he's gonna meet him and Artie are gonna move in together, and they're gonna be the next roommates.
Carmine, one of the things that I owe to you, and I always say this to the people that first took a chance on me and my ideas, as you were one of my first clients, and I will always appreciate that because all of this, Sal, everything, you know what I mean? It buds from one moment to the next moment, and I will always appreciate that.
I appreciate that, but you earned it. I mean, again, you do a great job, and you know what you're doing, and keep going because there's more to come for you guys for sure.
Thank you for coming on the show.